They could, but they did it nonetheless. Time now, ladies and gentlemen, for Rekha Basu from the Des Moines Register. It is time for Rekha's Voice. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Good. See, you love these little tidbits when you come over, don't you?
Well, you know, I have some personal experience on this library book return thing. So my sister got her library card confiscated when we were little because she never returned her books on time, and then she lost them. So then she took over mine, and she then went and lost that. She had so many overdue funds that 20 years later, I went back to the New York Public Library to get a card, and I couldn't get one because of my sister's fines.
You're on the list.
So I'm on the list. So this dude, you know, really dodged a bullet there.
He had it. They took a library book out after the Des Moines Library was only open for 5 years. If you put things in perspective, because they're celebrating what 150th anniversary this year. So
well, yeah, I know.
So impressive.
Exactly.
All right. So what do we have in the paper today?
So let me just ask you a question, guys.
Sure.
What do you think is the moral of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer story?
The moral of the story?
What do you
For
take
me,
from it?
if you're different, you're
okay.
You're unique, and you have to learn how to use your differences to make the most of your situation. You know,
well, very
Rudolph's
true.
red nose.
Anything else?
Misfit toy. So
perseverance.
Even if someone's not like the rest of us, we need to be accepting of everything and.
Yes, that is absolutely true. That's absolutely true. But let me ask you this. What lesson do you think those nasty reindeer got from the whole experience? Do you think that they really learned a lesson? And do you think that they're going to change their behavior? Or were they just kissing up to Rudolph in the end?
Because he was
well, I haven't really thought about this.
The sleigh that night. I mean, let's think about this like honestly and realistically, because we talk about bullying a fair amount on this show.
Yes, we do.
I've been in here talking about child bullying situations, adult bullying situations, and there's a direct analogy there to Rudolph. Now, so these kids are laughing at Rudolph and they're calling him names, right? That's bad enough. But then they don't even let him join in any reindeer games. That's clear discrimination, right? Because he's different. I mean, he's got a red nose, and who knows how he got this red nose? Maybe he was born with it. Maybe, you know, a Christmas light got lodged under his nostril.
Just illuminated,
Exactly. I mean, there's any number of interpretations, but there's nothing that the reindeer could do about this, right? I mean, he's stuck with it. So here he is, this poor little red-nosed reindeer trying to mind his own business and play with them, and they shun him completely, and they continue to do that even though it's against the law, mind you, discrimination. And then all of a sudden Santa says, guide my sleigh tonight. Oh, and then they're all his friends.
Then
we
he's
love
cool,
you.
yeah.
Right, exactly.
Then he's cool.
So I don't think that they've learned their lesson properly, and I think that there could be a different ending to this story. I mean,
oh, really?
Yeah.
What would your ending be?
I do. Well, first of all, I think some tough questions have to be asked. Now, who was paying attention when Rudolph was being bullied? Was anybody paying attention?
No, they're just laughing at him.
No, exactly.
People were just joining in laughing at him.
Well, exactly. And so where's Santa in this? I mean, we have to ask. You know, Santa's a good guy. I get that. He can't be everywhere all the time, although, quite frankly, he enters several billion homes on one night on Christmas Eve and goes down the chimney even.
He's good like that.
Eats cookies. Yeah. So obviously he is somewhat omnipotent. So why wasn't he saying to these nasty reindeer, you know, cut it out. Bullying is not tolerated, and you won't be able to be in my parade at all.
So you're thinking that maybe he's just turning a blind eye to it?
I think he was kind of turning a blind eye to it. And then I think, what about those elves, right? I mean,
they saw it.
Well, they saw it. Did they do anything to stop it? I doubt it, and you know why? Because my guess is that they were being bullied too. Because of the ears, you know, and their stature, and they wear those little green dresses. And so probably people were just having a field day with the elves and making fun of them, or they were afraid that the reindeer would be
they
having
didn't want
a
to take
field
any
day.
chances because they see what's happening to Rudolph.
Right, exactly. Now you see, there's a term for this in Latin American politics, and it's called collaborationist elite. And that is when the local elites in a country start to identify with the colonial powers, right? Because they want to get in good with them. So instead of representing their own populations, their own people, you know, in Latin American countries, they're going with the oppressors, with the outsiders, because they want to curry favor with them, because their future sort of depends on it, right? Are you with me here?
So far,
Right. I'm never going to look at this story again.
I've never seen anybody dive into Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer like this before.
Couldn't that just be on education? Like
it is totally a lack of education. And so then that
if they don't know any different, they see something's different, but they don't know necessarily how to respond.
That is absolutely true. So then the question is, first of all, what were they learning at home? Obviously, these reindeer parents taught them to be afraid of differences, and when you're afraid, then you get mean to protect yourself, maybe? I don't know. but they're getting the wrong message at home. And Rudolph, he's too classy for this because, you know, he could have come back at them and he could have laughed at them and said, you know, ha, you guys, I got the red nose. I can read in the dark when parents say lights off time. You can't do that.
That's true. He could have used that to his advantage.
But did he use that? No,
No.
he didn't, because he was raised by parents who were very classy, and he was classy, right? So he didn't do that. So now the question becomes, what are our institutions doing really to teach these young reindeer that they have to be more tolerant of other reindeer, even if they look different from them, even if they appear or talk different from them, that they you know, they're no better. It doesn't make them any better than them, right?
Right. Speaking of talking different, remember when they tried to cover up the red nose and he started talking nasally and they were making fun of that too?
Did they do that?
Yeah, with the mud. They put the mud on the nose to cover it up, and then
Where did this come out? Because it's not in the song.
No, it's not in the song, but it's in the story.
Oh.
It's in the TV show, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
so I didn't see the TV show. I
Okay.
just really primarily know it from
The song.
And
Okay.
you know, this has been sort of eating away at me for a number of years now.
Apparently, yeah.
Because I'm thinking this is just not fair. Like, they get away with it. They get to harass him, bully him, and then in the end just laugh and act like he's their buddy. And they haven't learned any lesson. Now, at first, they should have apologized. That would be the very first thing that would have to happen. And then they would need to really sort of get on board an anti-bullying campaign and say they have reformed their ways. But fortunately, a new ending has been written to the Rudolph story. And it's been written by a musician. And this musician's name is James Johnson.
Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson, sorry. And I want you to do the honors and just read that bit, because this is a new ending. This picks up where the song ends off, okay? Where after they all say, you'll go down in history, and then they're all happy together.
And it says, well, Rudolph, he didn't go for that. He said, I see through your silly games. How could you look at me in the face when only yesterday you called me names?
See?
Well, all the other reindeers, man, well, they sure did feel ashamed. Rudolph, you know, we're sorry. We're truly gonna try to change.
Now, see, isn't that justice in the end?
So you had to have a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer reprise.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I
Okay.
just think that we should be getting a different message.
So
from it.
you want more of a concise message of what children should be taken away from this classic tale.
Exactly. I don't want the bullies to get away with it. You guys, how did I get into this? Because people don't want all this hard stuff that I write about around the Christmas season.
Right.
They want to just chill. They want to
And
listen
discuss
to
things of importance like this around the Christmas table.
Well,
or
yeah, they
holiday
want
table.
Christmas carols, they want Christmas lights, and I'm there, right? I'm trying to make it easy for them. I'm trying to get with the program. So I just decided to
That's
take
fun.
a look at.
See, that's one of my favorite parts of the holiday season is the Christmas music.
Yes.
And different things that go, I'll never hear that song and think about it the same way again.
You have to
Well, you can't
learn the
listen
new
too
ending
carefully.
verse.
Right. You can't listen too carefully to some of these song lyrics because there's some nasty, nasty things that go on there, right?
So that is in the register today.
It's in the register today, exactly. Complete with reindeer art.
Oh,
pictures
yes.
of-
Yeah, the various
have it. Look at that.
renditions of the
Just hold it up here for a
story.
second. You get to see some of the great photos that you have on there, including, is it Burl? Yeah, there's Burl right down there. So you have a
There
chance to
you
check
go.
all that out. So
And there's some anti-bullying stuff, too.
that is so fun. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
for that.
Rekha. Happy
You guys.
holidays.
Thanks for playing with me.
10 minutes before 9 o'clock right now. And when we come back, we're going to give you an update on Buzz Aldrin. In case you haven't heard, he was struck ill over the weekend in the South Pole. And wait till you find out who his doctor is. Rock and roll fans, you're going to want to stick around for this. That's next.